Hi Scorpio, welcome to Swedish Dharma Tarot. What's happened here? Excuse me, I have to tilt the camera a bit forward. That's it. That's about as good as it gets. I hope you're doing well, sexy, sultry, mysterious, deep and wonderful Scorpio. We'll see what Spirit has to tell you. This will be the 5th reading I do for you guys. So I'm very new, and if you're here for the first time, very welcome. If you've watched these videos before, then you already know that these readings are very, very specific. Sometimes they're for 2 people, they're just 2 Librans, the last reading I did. But sometimes you're not going to recognize any of it. But I would like to ask you, please keep a lookout. Maybe you recognize somebody you know who would benefit from hearing the reading, and then maybe you could share it. I'd appreciate it if you share it in any case, and like and subscribe would be brilliant. I need all the help I can get. So we have 3 cards that have fallen out. First there was this one. This is my Karma card, 2 of Cups. We'll put them in again. And so something very karmic is happening or is about to happen, but I don't think you know what it is. There's no clarity in it. They were the first 2. And then a 3rd card fell out. And what do you know? Love is on its way. I think maybe you haven't met them yet. So we'll see what Spirit wants you to see or know, which messages. The cards I work with are called the Goddess Tarot. They're made by Chris Waldher, and they're magic. They're wonderful. The whole major arcana is made up of different goddesses from different cultures and different time periods, and they have taught me everything I know. So I'm reluctant to change when I'm working. Apart from that, I like tarot decks. They're great. But I can only work with these. I'm so inflexible. We have a woman here, female Scorpio, who I believe works as a teacher, because next to her there is the Chariot, which of course is Cancer's card, but it's also a card for movement and for me studies. And then we also have another aspect of you, dear Scorpio, and that's the Queen of Pentacles, which is a symbol for teacher. So that's what I think you work with. And yeah, but you're in 2 minds at the moment. I see that you're very tired. We saw this with Cancer as well. A school teacher who was completely exhausted. And I think you're a bit in that situation too, because you are at best very, very tired, and at worst depressed and anxious. And the 7 of Swords coming next to it, that tells me that there's a lot of fear about these feelings. You're scared at the moment. You're scared that you really are in a bad way, and I think if you're scared about it, then you certainly are in a bad way. I think it's time to take a break. And further on, I see that you have, or you're seriously considering leaving your work, maybe changing your line of work altogether. They do tell us, the cards do tell us, or Spirit tells us, that you will overwin these difficulties. You're on the right path. You've started to understand that this isn't helping you at the moment. There's too much pressure. And this is the problem. The more ambitious the teacher, the more exhausted they often become, because there's so much pressure from the schools and the systems in all countries, I believe. Certainly that's the case in Sweden. So I'm very sorry that it's like that even for you. But yeah, this will be fine though, because 2 cards here. This is my card for dependency and codependency and abuse of different types. It comes up in the reverse, which is a very good sign, because that means that you're in the process of freeing yourself up from these energies that are sucking you dry. And the energies that are sucking you dry, of course, are your children, which are only just being children and they have needs. But it's not the children themselves, it's the system that puts too much pressure on you. That card comes up next to the sun, which of course is Leo's card, but it's also the card of children, and they come up reversed as well. So you do need to take a big step back and look after yourself first and foremost, because if you don't, then the children have nothing to gain from you, and they do need you. But I think you're really considering some other line of work. The five of Pentacles for me is a card where you, oh, should I? Nah, not a good idea. But on the other hand, so it's just pendling between should I or shouldn't I, and it came up together with this work in the reverse, which is about, it shows me quite clearly that you're considering another line of work. And why not? I think I'd like to take a look at that a bit closer and see if they tell us something about what that line of work would be. Communication? Absolutely, but you already work with communication as a teacher. But there's something more here that you've not considered. And really you have like a karmic obligation here. That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe to... I'm tempted to say do law studies, but you've already put a lot of years into becoming a teacher and then another 5 or 6 years to study law. Well, maybe you should. Maybe you would be good at that. And if you do that, then it's about family law. So this is a Queen of Swords, the symbol for a Libra, Aquarian or a Gemini, but also for a solicitor or a lawyer. And this is the judicial system. And this is the family card. It's the number 5. Is that the Emperor in the classic, I think? But in my tarot, it's the goddess Juno, and she was the female protectorate or patron, I guess you could call her, in Rome. This is the woman, or the goddess, of course, that the women would go to seek advice. So, yeah. Not working so much with sentiment in law, working more with the intellect, and you can still do a lot of good and help a lot of children, that's for sure. Please let me know if you get this reading and you've understood it and you think that it's been helpful. I'm so curious. That goes for the rest of you as well. But this one really made me curious. What are you going to do now, Scorpio? I think you're going to become judicially more aware somehow. That's what the tarot cards had to say. Let's have a look at the Goddess Tarot. Doreen Virtue's wonderful cards that was sent to me as a present from my soul sister Julia in Australia. Oh, come on, pop out. They fly everywhere when you don't want them to. Green Tara. She's a favorite of the Tibetan Buddhists. And this card is called Start Delegating. Ask others, including me, she says, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. Well, that was very wise words. Maybe that's part of your problem. You will know that for sure. If it's a problem that would be relieved by you being able to delegate different tasks. In any case, you can ask Green Tara for help. Tara is the ultimate symbol of love and compassion, and she refused to leave the earth until all suffering was over with. So she is there amongst us. Keep an eye out for her. And then we have a yogic path. They look like this. They are written, the texts are written by Sahara Rose, and the artwork is done by Daniel Knoll. They're wonderful. They have different deities, Hindi deities, of course. There are things in here about yoga and Ayurveda and spirituality. Nothing's going to pop out. Come on. Spirit, what would you like our Scorpio friend, our Scorpio teacher, to know? Whoa, here we are. Chinnamasta. Chinnamasta. So that's one of the deities for sure. The goddess of radical self-transcendence. Interesting. Oh, that's something for a Scorpio. You're waking up and experiencing the radical pleasures of letting go. Chinnamasta, the headless goddess, has come to guide you in the massive state of transformation. As you turn passion into spiritual energy. Kundalini, primal energy, is rising, and you've given up a role you once carried to step up more fully into your power. Don't feel fear in this state of transition. Chinnamasta's gift is to transmute the darkest of times into the most powerful of energies. Carry her fierceness as you tear off a former head you once had and experience the inner peace that comes with being divinely yourself. That's so nice. So I think absolutely you're stepping out on a new path in your career, in your education, and I wish you all the best of luck with that. See you.